Do we see a problem here? Hey, so in today's video, I'm going to be doing an eyeshadow palette declutter. I am on an eyeshadow palette no-buy for the next 3 months. This is a really weird angle to shoot at. I'm so sorry. I'm literally sitting on the floor, and I thought I'm just going to Marie Kondo style declutter some of these eyeshadow palettes because honestly, I open my drawer and I get so overwhelmed. I know the lighting might be a bit off in this video, but we're gonna have to work with it. I'm sorry about that. But yeah, let's just get started. This is kind of like an eyeshadow collection video as well, so good for you if you wanted to see my eyeshadow palette collection. I think I have about 24 or 25 eyeshadow palettes, around that number, and that's just too many for one person, so let's get started. Let's just part the palette C. I'm just gonna hold one palette up at a time and, you know, talk about it, see if it sparks any joy, and if it doesn't spark any joy, then we're moving it out of my collection. So, also I hate that I have to say this, but do not comment asking for my used makeup. I do not give away my used makeup to strangers on the internet because that makes me feel really uncomfortable because my makeup is used. I give my makeup away to friends and family. And if I see any comments of people asking me for my used makeup, your comment will get deleted. I'm sorry that I have to say that, but I always get comments on my declutter videos of people basically begging for my makeup. No. Stop it. An obvious keep, my Sugar Pill Pro palette right here is beautiful. I'm sorry if things are out of focus. I love this palette with all my damn heart. I use it pretty much every single day. Definite keep. Another definite keep, these are from Divina. These are their Sugar Drops single shadows. I bought the entire collection because I'm crazy, and I know they look white on camera, but these are the most beautiful duochrome topper type eyeshadows, and I love them. I've used them again pretty much every single day since I got them. I think I will do like a review or like swatch video if you guys want to see that of these. I love them so much, and I love this magnetic palette as well. Beautiful. 100% keeping. Here's another palette I'm gonna keep. This is my palette from Lethal Cosmetics. Love Lethal shadows. I will do a review of these sometime. Probably by the end of February I will have my review of these up. Right now I actually want to put out all of my neutral palettes, open them up, and then just look at them, because here's the thing with me, if you're new to my channel, I don't wear neutral looks. Never. I love bright eyeshadows. I love just colourful eyeshadows in general, so neutral shadows typically aren't things I reach for, and I actually have a weird amount of neutral shadows. The first one being the Fenty Beauty Snap Shadows in number 7 Cadet. My mum got this for me for my birthday as an early birthday present, so that's why you haven't seen this on my channel yet. Dose of Colours Marvelous Mauves palette. I know these are mauve, whatever shades, and they can be considered colourful, but in my eyes, I look at this as a neutral palette, so. Next is Colourpop Dream Street. I'm gonna actually put this down here since it's one of those cardboard ones. And another Colourpop one, Colourpop Lit. This was with the Bretman Rock collection. It's now been discontinued. Too Faced Chocolate Bonbons palette. Can I even open this? Anastasia Beverly Hills Modern Renaissance palette. I'm fairly sure those are all of my neutral palettes. Actually, wait. Here's a single shadow palette from Colourpop. And I know on camera these look really bright. This first row is really bright, but these two are very neutral, so I'm gonna count this one in as well. Considering I rarely wear neutral eyeshadows, I find it ridiculous that I have this many. Like, this is a lot. Like, how many palettes are here? Okay, I'm gonna be real with myself. Keeping the Fenty Beauty one because this is pretty new to me. I'm still testing it out, but, you know, I chose this as a birthday gift for myself. It's not quite like boring neutral, you know what I mean? Why do my hands look so red on camera? They're not that red in person. Actually, they kind of are. Am I okay? Anyways, I'm keeping this one. Here's the thing. Even though I created this palette, actually my mum did buy this shade, this beautiful metallic hot pink. Even though I did essentially make this palette, I don't utilize most of it. So what I'm going to do is that I'm going to take out these 4 shades at the top and I'm going to move them into another magnetic palette, because honestly, anytime I reach for this little magnetic palette, I'm reaching into it for these shades. I rarely dip into this bottom row down here. Like, the shades are beautiful, these are all from Colourpop, but I just don't use it. Actually, since I'm here, this is a Colourpop big magnetic palette and it only has 2 eyeshadows in it. So what I'm gonna do is, I'm just gonna temporarily move these beautiful pink shades in this palette. I'm just throwing them in, honestly. And the 2 shades that I have in here, one of them is this really dark, cool toned brown, which I never use, so I'll just chunk that in there. And the other one is a black eyeshadow. Now, I actually never use black eyeshadow, like I rarely do, so I will put this in this palette and then give this palette away to somebody that I know. Maybe I'll throw in a couple of extra single shadows if I have any lying about. But yeah, this is just a colour scheme that I don't really reach for, and I'm keeping those nice Colourpop shades. I'll obviously move them into a more reasonable magnetic palette, but this is just a temporary home for now. Alright, I know you guys are gonna be mad at me, but I'm keeping Too Faced Chocolate Bonbons. I think if you've been on my channel for a little while now, you would know that it has sentimental attachment to me, and even though I do not support Too Faced anymore, I don't buy from them anymore, I don't like Too Faced, like, at all. I think their eyeshadow formula is really overrated, really, like, it's expensive for what it is, really. Like, this feels like a drugstore formula, honestly. I have such strong sentimental attachment to this because this was the first makeup product that Harley bought for me for our first Christmas together, and, you know, it's an old palette, I should probably toss it, but it still brings me joy, so I'm still keeping it. Don't get mad at me. I'm not planning on doing one of those, like, getting rid of 50% of my collection, because I know that's not gonna happen, so. Dose of Colour's Marvelous Mauves. Now, I really do like this eyeshadow formula, like, a lot, actually. I really do love the Dose of Colour's formula, but I don't really reach for this palette that often. Like, genuinely, I just don't. These aren't shades that I really like going for that much. When I had pink hair, I really did like this palette, but now it's just meh. I'll put it in the maybe pile, because maybe, like, if I don't have any other shades like this, then, you know, I'll consider keeping it, but we'll put the maybes down here. These 2 are pretty similar to me. This is Colourpop Lit, Anastasia Beverly Hills, Modern Renaissance palette. I don't know, I just don't really reach for this that much anymore. I do like this shade Mercy down here. It's like a beautiful red metallic, but I just don't reach for it, and every time I look in my drawer I feel guilty when I see this because I don't, like, actively reach for it and it's just sitting there. So I'm gonna move this on to a new home. Plus it's discontinued and I don't really like using discontinued products on my channel and on my beauty Instagram because I do looks and I link everything that I use. Now these 2 I am going to keep. I really do love the Dream Street palette quite a lot. I think this is my favourite, like, brown neutral palette that I own. As you can see, I have hit pan in 2 shades, and I hopefully would like to make some more pans, and it's got this beautiful rose gold and these, like, really bright pops of colour. I like this palette quite a lot, and it just makes me happy. I have sentimental attachment to the Modern Renaissance, even though I don't reach for this that often. Harley bought this for me for my 16th birthday, and I'm about to be 19, so this just makes me happy, makes me feel warm and fuzzy. I will say though, if I didn't have any sentimental attachment to the Too Faced Chocolate Bonbons or the Modern Renaissance palette, I would declutter these. But I still look at these still make me happy, and I probably will never get rid of these, honestly. It just makes me happy. Anyways, let's move everything back here. Everything, come here. Come here, no hiding from me. Okay, Kaleidos Makeup Futurism 5 Electro Turquoise palette. That is a mouthful to say. Love this palette, love it so much. Definitely keeping. Colourpop Lilac You A Lot palette. Really like this, and actually, now that I'm looking at it, let me open the Marvelous Mauves. I know that these aren't the same, but if I'm going to reach for these kind of tones, I'm gonna reach for this palette, plus there is a mauve shade up here that I really do like, so I feel like I am going to be decluttering this one. It's a good formula though, it is a really good formula, but I just prefer shades like this, you know what I mean? I prefer more bright lilac pastel shades. This is a single shadow palette consisting of mainly Divina and some Colourpop. Really do like this. This is my like grungy green, murky, shitty palette, and I really do like it, so keeping that. This is the Melt Radioactive palette. I got this as a gift for Christmas, and I really do like it so far. Again, I'm still testing it out. Oh, I just realised one of my palettes is not with me. The Nabla Soul Blooming palette. Oh my god, I can't believe that I forgot to put it back in my makeup drawer. We know I'm keeping this palette. We know I'm keeping her. Love her. She's my child, basically. Colourpop Blue Moon palette, of course keeping. Colourpop Orange You Glad, again, definitely keeping. My god, these... Why did they make these plastic? Seriously, they're kind of hard to open, and also, like, the environment. Damn it, Colourpop. But it is really pretty, minus the pressed glitter in here. This is a single shadow palette from Nabla, and I have a few Colourpop ones in here. I might actually, now that I'm looking at it, I know I'm going to be buying the Nabla single shadow in the shade Alchemy, and I know Alchemy is fairly similar to Glass Bull from Colourpop, and I don't know, I like uniformity when it comes to single shadow palettes, and the fact that the Nabla ones are bigger than the Colourpop bothers me. And I really feel like I'd prefer the Nabla formula over Colourpop's, so I'm going to be putting this one in the single shadow palette here and giving that away. But I'm going to be keeping this single shadow palette, and I will be filling it up with some other Nabla shadows. Okay, next up, the Tribe palette by Juvia's Place. I used this a lot last year when I first got it, and it's still a really beautiful palette. Actually, now that I'm looking at it, I really want to reach into these shades. I reached for this a lot in autumn and when I first got it early last year, but I need to rediscover this palette. I need to, like, I want to play with this. Oh my god, I've missed this palette so much. I'm gonna keep that. Love it. Now, this is new to my collection. This is the Sugar Pill Fun Size Mini Palette. Very, very, very beautiful. Did I need this? No. But have I wanted this since it launched? Yes. I will talk about this more in the haul video. I'm doing a haul series on my channel. Every 4 months I'm going to be uploading a video titled What I Purchased on my low buy / no buy. Yes, I broke my eyeshadow palette no buy for this. No, I don't really feel like talking about it right now. I'll talk about it more in that video, but yes, I'm keeping this. I love it so much. Alright, the Colourpop Wet palette. Again, my mum did purchase this for me for Christmas a couple years ago, and again, I got a lot of use out of it back then. And I really only kept it for this shade right here, this beautiful silver shade called Thickums. But again, this is discontinued, and I don't really reach for this palette that much. Now that I have, where is it? Now that I have the Blue Moon palette, and I prefer this one a lot more to this one, I'm going to be decluttering that one. I always feel terrible decluttering gifts, because, I don't know, it makes me feel bad, because, you know, someone picked out as a gift for you, I feel guilty, but you know, like, if I'm not getting use out of it, then I feel more guilty, you know? It's like you can't win, you know what I mean? This is the Blush Tribe Hasina 2 palette. I haven't reached for this palette in a long time, actually. I'm looking at it and I'm thinking, when did I last reach for this? But it's gorgeous, it's stunning. I need to, like, dip into these shades again, especially these greens and this shade right here. Oh my god. Definitely going to do a look with this sometime soon. If I don't use this within the next, like, month, then I'll declutter it, but I really, really like this palette. I think this was one of the first indie brands that I've tried as well, so I want to keep it. I really do like the quality of this. Oh, mama. This is the Pastel Goth palette. This has long been discontinued. Back when I still used to purchase some from Kat Von D. Again, still haven't gotten rid of it, still like this palette, and it just makes me, happy. It makes me, I look at it and I just get all these memories flooding back to when I was playing with makeup. And even though I way prefer the Sugar Pill palette, I way prefer this one, the colour selection and the formula, I still like to keep this palette just a little bit longer. Okay, this is the Lime Crime 10th Birthday palette. Does this have a specific name? It was their 10th birthday palette. Here we go. Can I open it? No. I got this as a gift from one of Harley's family members. The same family member that bought the Radioactive palette for me this last Christmas, which I died when I opened that gift. I was just thinking, like, I don't know. Holly's family is so sweet. I love them. Holly, if you're watching this, I love you. But she did get this for me, I think, what was it, a couple years ago now? Was that a couple of years ago? Damn, time's flying by. She got this for me a couple of years ago and the packaging is really reflective. This is discontinued, it's no longer available, and I really did like this palette a lot when I first got it, and I used it quite frequently, and I even have Pan in the shade Cloud right here. I like this palette a lot, however, I'm not really reaching for it. I feel like an asshole decluttering a gift palette, but at the same time, I feel like even more of an asshole when I'm not using it, so I'll pass this on to a good home, because I think I have a friend that will like this, actually. Alright, down to the final two. This is the Melt Cosmetics Smoke Sessions palette. Really beautiful grungy palette, and I like the formula a lot. I really do like these shades. I don't really have anything like it in my collection. It's very unique, and again, I love pairing this with this palette right here. I actually made this palette to complement this one, and look at it, it's so pretty. Might do a look on my Instagram using some of these shades. But yeah, keeping that one. And last but certainly not least, I am so mixed on keeping this. This is the Juvia's Place Masquerade Mini Palette. As we can see, gorgeous. I bought this on Black Friday a few years ago, and damn, I fell in love with it, and I fell in love with it hard. I've done a palette bingo on this. I use this a lot. I think this is one of the first. This was like when I was getting proper serious into makeup. Like, this is when I was like, I have a channel, I'm like doing all the like cool looks, I'm experimenting with all these different shimmers and different formulas. And I think, actually no, Juvia's Place was the first indie brand I ever tried because of this palette, and the formula is good. Juvia's Place formula is good. However, I haven't reached for this palette since I did the palette bingo video. I actually reached for this palette the other day just for this shade. I only ever dip into this palette for this shade right here called Zola. It's the most beautiful blue eyeshadow, but I can buy a single of this, you know? I don't need to keep an entire palette that I never use just for this. And it's a beautiful palette, really nice quality. The shimmers especially stunning, but I think I'm just gonna pass this on to a friend of mine because I can't keep a palette that I don't use, you know? I feel bad when I keep palettes I don't use. Okay, so, as expected, I'm keeping a lot more than I'm decluttering, but that's okay because the point of this declutter was to just get rid of stuff that I wasn't using. And here's the thing, I rotate through my eyeshadow collection very frequently. Now that I have a beauty Instagram, I actually have to like go through more eyeshadow palettes than I ever have before because I want to create new looks, show off like different things, not use the same thing over and over and over again. Let me just count real quick so I can give you exact numbers. I'm keeping 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. So out of 25 palettes, I'm keeping 20, and I'm getting rid of 5, essentially. Let me just double check. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6? Hang on a minute. I'm bad at math. I'm decluttering 6 palettes, and I'm keeping 20. I personally think for myself, that is good. Like, because these are things that I just don't get use out of in my collection anymore. At one point I did, but now I just don't. So I think I'll just pass these on to my friends. I'll ask them if they would want any, and yeah, I'm really proud of myself actually. So that's it for today's video. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I hope you enjoyed seeing this palette declutter, and let me know if there are any videos you want me to do with these eyeshadow palettes right here. Do let me know. I will be doing a review of the Lethal Cosmetics shadows soon, and I might do a review on the Sugar Pill Fun Size mini palette if you want to see that, and also the Davina shadows, and maybe even the Fenty Beauty palette as well. Oh, I forgot to count the Fenty Beauty one. 21! Do follow me on my social media. I have a couple of Instagram accounts. I live stream on Twitch 3 times a week. Oh, I can't even do it at this angle. And I have my Spotify linked down below. Again, thank you so much for watching. I hope you guys are having a great day, and I will see you guys in the next video. Bye!